Morning, Auntie Fumi. Honestly, okay, I listened to your voice note, but I do really believe that Brigitte Macron is a man. I'm telling you, I watched that 8-part series. So I watched your YouTube video yesterday, and I watched that 8-part series when it came out originally. And that 8-part series, Candace Owens did before the whole Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively case. And honestly, first of all, when I heard it, I said it was ridiculous. It was far-fetched. I ended up having this argument back and forth with my sisters because they were like, you're such a conspiracy theorist. But honestly, when you watch the web of deceits that they have tangled, there was a Brigitte Macron, and she was born, there was a woman, but I think that woman died, and this First Lady has now assumed her identity.
Hello, my beautiful Aretha. Good morning. How are you, sunshine? Oh my God. Oh my God. Because of you, Aretha. Because of you, because I really did not care to watch 8-part series. But because of you, I'm going to watch it. How about that? I'm going to actually even make an episode today. And I am going to let my FumiNation sisters and brothers know I'm going to watch it and form my own opinion. Because I guess if I'm going to follow this and report on it, I have to get perspective on all angles. Do I believe it? No. No, I do not. Am I irritated that I have to waste my time to watch this? Yes, but I will watch it. I will watch it. And might I add that I'm going to give a very, 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 very fair assessment. I'm going to put aside whatever I believe and really sit down and watch this objectively. My darling FumiNation, how are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. What am I wearing? I am wearing grass fields. Some of you might have remembered them way back. I think they are back, but they are very much an online fashion house that disappeared for a while, and I think that the owner was able to fight back and get her brand back. So these are trousers or pants, and then this is the blouse to go. And I just thought, why not? Let me bring out the rah in me. All right, why are we here? I'll tell you why we're here. We are here because upon reflection, after reading your comments, because you know I read your comments in relation to Candace's Owens coverage of Brigitte Macron's gender, I had said that I was not going to watch the 8-part series. And I said, no, I don't have the time, please, I can't be bothered. I dismissed it for a whole bunch of reasons, of which we're going to get into this episode. But upon reflection, I was wrong. How can I have a complete overview of this case without watching the 8-part series? I was extremely surprised, my God, at how many friends that watch Candace. Yes, because I don't talk about what I do with my friends' family too much. I talk about their lives, you know. But a lot of them said, Fumi, watch the docu-series. So I said to myself, let me come out here and let you know that I was wrong to say that. You know, I'll admit it when I am wrong. And to let you know that I am going to watch it. I have a wonderful friend of mine. Well, I was going to announce it before, but I will announce it here. I am now the brand ambassador of Eloise Beauty. A lot of you ask me, Fumi, what are you wearing? I am wearing Eloise Beauty. Their blushes, their eyeliners, their lippies, all of them is by Eloise Beauty. And I am going to find a way, some way, somehow. I'm going to go live and do makeup tutorials. I'm going to figure out a way to do it for you guys so that you can experience Eloise Beauty. I am completely addicted. Anyway, my girlfriend, who also has a huge passion and love and works with Eloise Beauty, is none other than my gorgeous Aretha. And Aretha had left me messages of which you had listened to. So we are going to have Aretha on the show. Yes, because I want to hear your perspective. I'm going to shut me off and I want to hear your perspective. I am not saying that I'm going to agree with Candace. I'm going to watch everything and I'll make my own conclusions. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to beautiful and wonderful Aretha. So, my darling FumiNation, I want to introduce to you our fabulous Aretha. And Aretha is pro Candace. So, Aretha, go right ahead and speak, my darlings.
Hello, hi FumiNation. I'm very privileged and glad to be here. So, like I said, to start with, this theory sounded absolutely ludicrous, but the deeper down the hole you go, the more apparent it becomes that they're definitely hiding something. So apparently there is a real Brigitte who apparently was Jean-Michel, and Jean-Michel is now apparently, allegedly, the person acting as Brigitte Macron. Her sister, who was Brigitte, has apparently passed away. Now what we've seen is there's lots of mysterious passings as soon as the person becomes relevant. As soon as we want to speak about the person and we ask them to come to the forefront, this person has mysteriously passed away. Now, what we've seen is there's lots of images of this Jean-Michel up until the age of around 25, 26, and then he falls off the edge of a cliff, and we meet this new woman called Brigitte, who's acting as Brigitte, in her 30s. There's no imagery of her between the ages of 0 to 33. Now, apparently, the palace actually presented a picture. They presented an image, and all this is in Candace's 8-part series. Okay, so I watched it all, like I said, and originally I thought very far-fetched, but then as you go deeper and deeper down this hole, you begin to think, hang on a minute, this is an image that the palace themselves actually produced. And you begin to see things like warped hands, because they said in imagery, when you're trying to doctor pictures, the hands are very difficult to kind of get right. So you'll see on one of those images that the hands are warped. The person they want us to believe is Brigitte is actually her sister, who has apparently passed away. And that's why it was easy to kind of just step into her shoes. The person that is actually, Brigitte when she was a man is that Jean-Michel guy, and he's on the very end of the photo.
Okay, Aretha, can I say something? Okay, yes. All right. So, this is how I feel, yeah? Mm-hmm. Brigitte is 72 plus, okay?
Yes. Okay.
We have to remember that we are very much in the modern digital age. I am 56 years old, and I say that only because Instagram was created when? 2012-ish, around social media came when? With YouTube and all of that, 2005. Yeah? Prior to all of that, let me just get that now. All I had, if you wanted to know about me, were hard copy pictures. That's all I had. I didn't have anything digital. I'm saying that because I'm in my 50s, Brigitte is in her 70s. Not to say that we cannot find pictures, but this digital where you're looking for when she was younger, so on and so forth, it might be harder for her because she's older. Like I said, I'm going to watch the series. I am coming from a place where Candace Owens and I don't agree on a lot of things. Number one of them being Meghan Markle. Also about the black community. Things that she has said, that racism doesn't exist. It's a lot of the reason why I just kind of dismissed what she was saying. You are trying to tell me that this person was not born a woman, that the sister died, and he went ahead at 30 and took the identity of his sister, that the other siblings are aware of this, that the children that she birthed is the father, not the mother, that the father of these children, who has passed away since 2019, went along with all of this, that all this time she played out to be a woman, that she went to this school of which she met for 15, 14, 13-year-old Macron, and the school staff, everybody, plus his parents, she was able to carry all of this off. You are trying to tell me that all of this time, that this is what she has portrayed herself to be. Can you see how far-fetched this is? Can you see?
100%.
I'm just saying it out loud so that I can okay.
Ludicrous.
It sounds
absolutely
ludicrous.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think, and I had this conversation, I went back and forth with my sisters and they said the same thing. Anybody looking at it from the surface, it sounds, even if you delve in a bit deeper, it sounds absolutely ludicrous. And first of all, I want to kind of strongly agree with you on your positioning with Candace. Candace has said a lot of things that are untrue about the black community, and she's definitely done a lot to hurt the black community. She voted for Trump. One thing Candace did come out and has recently said is that she deeply regrets it based on how the Epstein thing. So one thing I will give Candace is when she is wrong, she will hold her hands up and say, I made a mistake, okay? But with this, and the reason why I'm saying, this is not Candace Owens' work. I, like you, am not a big fan of Candace. I think, like I said, she's done a lot of derogatory stuff that's hurt us people, and some of it has been dishonest. But what she has merely done is Candace has been the vocal mouthpiece for 3 French journalists. Apparently this is an open known secret in France. This is not Candace's work. This is the work of 3 journalists. I can't remember exactly what their names are, but the guy that wrote the book, Becoming Brigitte, and the 2 ladies that first actually started the theory.
Yes.
Apparently the palace went through great lengths to make their lives a living hell. Now, what I'm saying is, if it is true, we've also asked, can we see side-by-side pictures of you and your brother in your teenage years? You're absolutely right. If all you have is hard copies, you can take a picture of a hard copy and share it with us.
Yes.
You can share a picture and let everybody know that, oh, okay, look, this is me and my brother when we were younger. We were taking a picture. Here we are. Let everybody see. Secondly, like I said, if you think it's ridiculous or you think it's ludicrous, and to a certain extent, you're right. Who is Candace Owen? Why do I have to justify myself to you when, she's the first lady? The reason I would say that you now need, it's not actually about Candace. It's about those French people that have now managed to actually reach an American audience, have now managed to reach Asia, and are now getting to the point where this is gaining credibility. It's gaining momentum, so much so that you feel valid in actually taking out a legal case against her. Why not just provide the blood sample and be done with it? Because this came up years ago.
Okay.
And
I tell you, the 2 women who claimed that Brigitte was a man, those 2 were Amandine Roy, 53-year-old clairvoyant, Natasha Ray, 49-year-old blogger. Yes? All right. The judge dismissed their case for saying that it was not out of malice. They believed it, just the way that Candace believes that Brigitte is a man. They did not dismiss the fact that it was a lie. On top of which, and I said it before, who is Candace Owens for Brigitte Macron to answer to? Who is she?
No, absolutely no one.
And I'll also play devil's advocate. Because left to me, and I've said it before, I have been asked here, Fumi, are you a man? Of which I laughed. But if it was getting out of hand where it was hurting me, it was hurting my family, it was hurting my husband, my son, well, you know how I feel. I would have given you all of my IVF documentations, because you need to have eggs. You need to have eggs to fertilize. The eggs are kicking out of the woman, and you have the samples from your husband. They put it together and they bring it and put it back into you. That is the numero uno. Having said that, Brigitte, as far as I am concerned, I would have given the blood sample. But
Thank you.
I want to understand, and I think it's fair, who is Candace Owens? Why do I have to answer to her? It could very much be that Brigitte felt, F Candace Owens. How dare you? She's almost 40 years my junior. Who is she? A YouTuber, because remember, she's our parents' age. The mentality is very different. They don't understand this new way of consuming information, because that is what it has become. Somebody in the comments said, oh, Fumi is giving us information from CNN of all places. I was shocked, because I remember when CNN used to be the reputable source to consume information. It's no longer that case. Now they want to hear the truth from YouTubers, of which and what we are. But maybe Brigitte did not feel that. I'm going to put down your social so that they can follow you, because these are the FumiNation Candace family.
Yes, yes.
Because for me, we can agree to disagree. And I love this kind of heavy debate. And I think I am hearing it from you because you're my friend. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, Fumi, you know what? Sit back and listen to what she has to say respectfully.
Okay, perfect. So I want to address your point. You're absolutely right in terms of she has to set a precedent, and I do agree with that. If she is to acquiesce to Candace now, then it's like, what's to say another random person off the street doesn't come up, make a claim, and then she's constantly having to justify herself to who, you know? So I completely agree with you. She doesn't, and she owes Candace nothing. Now, what she did owe is at that moment when the judge, or she took it to the court for that defamation suit, and that defamation was thrown out because it wasn't done out of malice, would that not have been the perfect opportunity, not to Candace, but to the judge and to the world that are to the likes of me that are buying into this story? Isn't that the perfect time to say, guys, here is my blood sample. It's very simple. A mouth swab will prove XY or XX chromosome. Quickly do it and be done with it. So you put this to bed, because what she said is, it, like you rightly said, if this was you and somebody accused this, you would have provided proof. You're quickly able to dispel that rumor because you showed us pictures of your pregnancy. We are unable to see any of this kind of information.
Correction. Correction. Yes, they have. The lawyer Tom Clare, they gave Candace all of this information. Not only did they give Candace, yes, they did. They gave her the information. No. They gave her pictures. They gave her wedding pictures. They gave her all, to the point that Candace blocked them and refused to communicate with them. Then they had to circle around via email.
Please all of this, the 8-part series, please, because she addressed
that means that your own. Okay, all right. I take it back.
Because if you watch the 8-part series, the people that they are saying is Brigitte is not Brigitte. They are that lady.
That is Candace's. That's from Candace's point, saying that he doesn't look. That means that you're taking her view.
No, I'm not taking. But this is what I'm, and this is why I say please, because what Candace has done is she has presented other people's work. She has not said this is what Candace has done. She's presented it. Now I want to bring you on to the next important point: the Chinese recognition software, and I think that's the software that we now all use to recognize our faces on internet banking, and so on and so forth. That they use that recognition of that little boy Jean-Michel and the current First Lady. They put those pictures side by side and they said, is this the same person? It said it was a more than 85% match. Okay, they also brought the same picture.
Say it again.
They presented the image of the current First Lady, Brigitte Macron, and they presented the image of the boy that is allegedly, that they are alleging, was her before she transitioned into the First Lady. They put those two images through facial recognition technology, which was created, I think, in China, and that's currently what we're using for the likes of internet banking and so on and so forth. And they asked it, is this the same person? It came back 85% accurate of a match. They then took the picture of the First Lady and the image that she said was her as a child, which is the evidence that she apparently produced to Candace. They ran the facial recognition software and said, is this the same person? It said no. It turns out they then put the image of the young girl that she presented with her daughter, and it said, yes, that is the same person. So what I'm saying is all the information that they're saying they've already provided, the problem is when they run it through, it's showing up as false. So that's why Candace said it's not that she's saying that, oh, they haven't given us. What she's saying is the information you've given us is coming up as false. So if you are saying it's not false, do a blood test and be done with it.
Okay. All right. And here I come again. Who is Candace? It doesn't. That's what I'm not arguing. I am not saying that Candace doesn't have a right to ask. She's a journalist. She's investigating this. In many ways, I would like to believe that Candace wants the truth. I believe that Candace believes what she believes. Are we clear? But what I'm saying is that it does not mean that she has to answer to Candace. She can find Candace repugnant. She can find Candace aggressive. She might not like Candace for a lot of things and say, you know what, I'm not answering to you. Go straight to hell.
Agreed. But what she cannot deny is Candace has influential power. So you may hate Candace, okay? But what you cannot ignore is that those 4.5 million viewers that Candace has access to are beginning to believe it. So it's not about justifying herself.
And that is what I said yesterday. Because I said that Candace Owens blew up from this Justin Baldoni's case. Let me correct it. Candace was already big. Candace had 3 million followers before this. But Candace didn't cover cases like this. She didn't. It was very much politics. It was the first that I know of her covering anything in Hollywood. And she got at least 1 million new followers from this case. That was what I meant, that she blew up in a different sphere. This was not her arena. And
she was exposed to a whole new set of
a whole new
viewers.
A whole new. That was what I meant. Prior to that, because you have influencers in the beauty space who have 40 million followers, 10 million followers.
Yes.
But I truly believe that the 4.5 million followers that Candace has 15 million eyeballs. Only a third are subscribed.
Yes, I agree.
I believe that steady, because her influence guaranteed is global.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is that prior to last year, let's just say last year, it wasn't anything to Brigitte. And that was the mistake Brigitte made.
Exactly.
That was the mistake Brigitte Macron, the first wife of France, made, because Candace was in a space that did not affect her in sorts. Like many of us. I did not know Candace until the Justin Baldoni. Why? Because I'm an actor. I'm from Hollywood. She came to my neck of the woods. I knew who Justin Baldoni was. I knew who Blake Lively was. So I was like, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, and that's what I was trying to say, that Candace Owens in Hollywood now became prominent. Prior to that, nobody really cared. I didn't know her. What do I think of Candace? I think she's absolutely dynamic. She's energetic. She's young. She's beautiful. She's got a whole life ahead of her. She does it right. She will open doors that she could never imagine for herself. If you go to her page, 5 million views, which is more than the followers that she has. That tells you how they're watching Candace. It's a mistake from Brigitte's team.
Read through the comments of what the French audience is saying.
But nobody came like the machine, like Candace came. People covered it.
West, and they can't control her. The people that have come out in France, they have suppressed them, they've bullied them, they've intimidated them.
And that was why Candace's platform was different. She was an American woman. She had more influence than the French themselves in France. This was something they could not control. That was why they went to Delaware.
Exactly. And apparently, Candace spoke about receiving a call from the White House saying,
from Trump,
I've been asked as a favor, can you please stop? This was just before
because Emmanuel Macron went to Trump over peace talks between Ukraine and Russia. He's now being pushed by his wife to say, can you do anything with this woman? She's in the way. And
but do you see how it's slightly, if you view her as a no, why would you give this nobody so much power?
No, credit to Candace. They didn't give her any power. Candace is the power that they couldn't control.
Okay, exactly. Or she has the eyes of people, and the people become power ultimately.
Yes.
And that's what Candace has. So this is what I'm saying. You can easily dispel it. What they're saying now is they are mocking. It's becoming a source of their other senior leaders around the world, global leaders that are looking at the First Lady, and it's now gaining traction. People are gossiping, their rumors, and that's where the defamation comes into it. So this is what I'm saying. You sued somebody the first time for defamation.
Yeah.
You're now suing another person for defamation.
Yeah.
Just prove them wrong and end it.
Okay.
Silence the haters, because it is beginning to bother her. If it wasn't bothering her, much like we've spoken about, Michelle, about people have said this, but instantly she's not even giving it life because she doesn't care and because she knows how untrue it is. However, this now, you'll say, 2 lawsuits. At some point, you have to say, okay, I'm just going to end this. Let me give you a blood test and be done with. The reason she hasn't done that, that's now becoming, and instead you're giving us photos, you're giving us half attempted or doctored pictures. Now you're beginning to look dodgy. Do you see what I mean? Just end it all, do the blood test, and let your haters read them and weep and be done with it.
Okay.
She hasn't.
Let me say this again. What if Brigitte gives us the blood test and it turns out that she is a woman? What if she doesn't want to go down the route and make it easy? I will make Candace suffer. Candace is out here in the social media streets with a t-shirt of Brigitte Macron. She's monetizing this. Also, I don't think that's right. I think if you're trying to, on principle, I don't think that's right. That's wrong. So that is why they say, there you go. I think
Candace is definitely, Candace
she's dragging her.
Unscrupulous behavior.
There you go.
There's no doubt about that.
All right.
And she's shown us that in the past, in her personality.
So if it was a matter of, you know what, it's just a matter of A, B, and C, why do that? Why do that? I think that Brigitte said, okay, you know what, enough is enough. I'm going to sue you for defamation. And I think that Tom Claire is going to be a fight. I also believe, but I am going to watch the 8-part series. I'm going to stay open-minded. I'm going to throw out any prior doubts I have. I really am. That's why I'm loving this conversation with you, so that I can see where Candace is coming from. I also agree this was not Candace's fight. These 2 bloggers, Clairvoyant, brought this to her first. She carried it. Why did I talk about Candace? Because Candace had the most influence. That's why it shot right through the roof, because she was the one that brought it to prominence the way that it did. So it was easy for them to dismiss it. We will come back, and I would love for you to actually be here, FumiNation, and we'll go live with other FumiNation members. Let me watch it. Let me see where Candace was coming from, and then we will come back and revisit. But I would love for you to have the floor so that we can close out. But my God, did I enjoy this.
So did I. I can't wait for all this to play out, and I can't wait for you to watch it and revisit this conversation and see where you stand. Oh.
I love it. I love it. And I was telling FumiNation that I am now brand ambassador for Eloise Beauty. I am wearing Eloise, discount code Fumi for everything Eloise Beauty, and we are going to come with the beauty products, maybe go live and play with the makeup and talk about Brigitte Macron and Candace Owens, and maybe send them Eloise Beauty. How about that?
We love it, and absolutely yes. Eloise Beauty Africa, our brand new ambassador. I live for it. I can't wait. My favorite things: current affairs and makeup.
I love it. Let's do it. Okay, FumiNation, do not forget to like, to subscribe, follow Aretha. I'm going to put her social media links down below. I really wanted to come out here and do this. So FumiNation, thank you so very much. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I will see you sooner than later. All of my love. Aretha, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for having me, Auntie Fumi.
Love you. Bye. Aretha, hold. I've got